Okay, this is at Love Clark, and I was looking at my old comic books. Anyone that knows me knows I love comic books, especially Marvel comics and X-Men in particular. And I was looking at this old advertisements, and I was thinking about this false flag shooting, phony hoax in Florida. You know, sad for the people that really believe it, and they're crying and blah blah blah, memorials and blah blah blah. Anyway, I was thinking about that, and the fact that it comes to the conclusion in one of my other videos, the last one I made, was this is a reality. This is the unreality. Okay, there's the reality. This is the unreality. Okay. Now, the thing is, once you start to believe that, then you got to start giving credit over to the occult symbology, the Freemasonic symbology, the number play. They love to do number plays. And when you start to investigate it yourself, it starts to get a little addictive, and you start to notice. First, you got to study up before a little bit. And now a lot of people are going to say, well, you're just trying to copy somebody like Russian Vids. No, I'm not. I'm inspired by people like Russian Vids and people like Queenie Cameron and those kind of people that try to stay focused on what is, you know, the facts, rightly dividing. A lot of people don't understand what that means. Okay, Russian Vids, you know, believes in a flat Earth thing, so a lot of people just discredit him that don't want to believe in him, because they don't want to believe in the flat Earth. I'm not convinced yet of that, but I am convinced there's something to the Freemasonic numbers. Okay, now of course the book is in, like Russian Vids teaches, is they love orange, so orange is the giveaway. Okay, now this, I got a advertisement when I was about 18 or 19, this credit card, and they tried to give me this credit card, but I'm used with little bit of skills I do have to just debunk this and show what I can see. Okay, when I started doing this at first, things started popping out to me, so I said, hold on, wait a minute, maybe this is worth filming. So the first thing I thought was, wow, look, it's a credit card. Okay, credit card, money, we're in debt. Okay, we need money. Money, the spider is mammon, okay, represents money, okay, and no face, see, hidden, you don't know who done it. It's a hero, it's supposed to be your hero, right? Webs, web of lies, there's the spider, just like in the hidden in the little dollar bills. Now, what I first stood out to me was, oh, you know what? Look, there's Spider-Man and the New York skyline. Is he sitting in front of the Twin Towers? I don't think that's the Twin Towers, and this is 1998, this comic book, by the way, before anyone kind of tries to say, well, what you with the year? No, this is before the Twin Towers came down. Now, power. Okay, get the credit card with power. And then the first thing that popped out to me was the 6. So I said, oh, let's see if there's a 666. And at first I was like, nah. Now you got your sun worship with this yellow thing. Okay, chaos, sun, whatever. Received 6 months of spectacular Marvel comic for $6. Okay, and I thought, oh, well, maybe there's not much to this. But then I thought, well, maybe there's other numbers. So you come down here, and I thought, well, maybe there's a 6. Let's see. Well, maybe if there's another 6 down here. And of course, after using your Marvel MasterCard, by the way, which is 2 suns or planet or whatever overlapping each other, orange, and red or orange. That's more of the Freemasonic. They said they love orange. Okay, now, so there was you had your 6. Okay, you had your 6. Now, Russian vids and people like other people are much better at this, but I'm just trying to see what I can do from what I've been taught, what I'm catching on to. Now, see, look, there's your other 6. Okay, then you're like, but look, there's another 6. Okay, so you got 666, and then there's another 6. Okay, and then but this 6 at the end has a 3. 0 cancels it out, so it's not really a 0. I mean, it's not 30. It's just 3. Okay, and then you've got other stuff that's repeated, but then people say, well, you're just not thinking right. And then you come down here, well, what am I thinking? Well, here's more numbers, the fine print. So let's look at the fine print. Remember all these movies, the fine print, the devil's contracts and all that stuff? There's fine print. No one ever looks at the fine print. There's another 6, see? See, there it is. Now, anyone thought I was crazy, and then I started looking at it. G7WC. Okay. But then, look at the number. Look what it says. Look, am I tripping on this? Why they throw this in there? Okay, and what it says is to request information about the cost by calling, okay, of this bank and this credit card. You call this number. What number they want you to dial? 1-800-523-67. Oops, sorry. 1-800-523-7666. Okay? So now, am I tripping? Okay. Now am I really tripping? Oh yeah, well you just found a couple coincidences. Okay, now, back up to here. Why, back then, when the Twin Towers, the most famous skyline, why isn't Spider-Man behind it? They always did that. Well, he is. Spider-Man is behind it. He's pointing right to it. Now, remember, when this film came out, the Spider-Man film, they had to stop production because the Twin Towers fell. There was a scene in this movie where a helicopter is going to fly into the Twin Towers. Spider-Man catches it with webbing, puts webbing in between the towers, and catches the helicopter, stopping them from exploding into the building. Okay? And they had to stop it to cut that out because 9/11 happened. But, look, power, get the credit card with power, and it's all about money, right? Now look, what is he, now there's boom, right? Power. Look, I might be kind of tripping. Tower. If you just finish it, it's tower. Tower. Okay? Now look, what's he pointing at? Well, first of all, he's making that devil symbol, the horns, alright? Right at where he's pointing at, in between, bam! It looks like a tower leaning this way, and tower leaning that way. See it now? Okay. Now, POW, prisoners of war, ER, emergency room, 9/11, okay. The image of the beast and the image of the beast, okay. Giving power to the image of the beast, okay. So you got the spider, you got the tower, prisoners of war, emergency room, 9/11. Now this is 1998. When I first started looking at this, and I saw, oh, well, there's a 6, 6, and a 6 right here, I thought, well, no one's going to be convinced by that, not even myself. I mean, that could just be any coincidence, okay? But then, when you look at the numbers, okay, when you look at the number, like I said, 1-800-523-7666, I think it's obvious. And then, you know, on top of all of this, see, it's getting me turned off from liking comics, because I'm starting to notice that Masons have their hand in everything. Now, I'm not pushing the idea of the mark of the beast as a computer chip or a credit card. I'm more in the belief that it's an invisible mark, kind of like what Arnold Murray talks about. It's not something. Maybe I could be wrong, okay? A lot of people are waiting for this. My point is, I'm not trying to push that this is 666, but this is a weird coincidental, right? It's all coincidental. It's all coincidental that his devil's sign, and then there's another twin towers. Look, there's twin towers coming down in his fingers, right? Or is it? Anyway, now that might be looking too far into it, but the point is, who is the masked hero? Who did this? Okay. Spider-Man, red, white, and blue. He's pointing right in between the towers. Probably where they should be in the New York skyline. Back here, they're not. Huh? I don't know. Never been to New York. Don't want to go there. Okay? Maybe on a trip once. But I definitely know one thing. It says, get the credit card with power, and then right next to it, it says, in this panel right here, it says, it's only as good as the person using it, see? Now, what's funny is they put it right next to this panels, okay? Which I might be reading a little too much into it, and I might get in trouble for reading some Marvel comic material, but it says it's only as good as the person using it. He's referring to a shield, okay? In its own way, Trooper, it's actually pretty impressive, but like any weapon, that shield, that silhouette, it can't be him, okay? They're realizing America did it. America did this too. Where's Hydra? Well, right now Hydra is Nazi. The closest thing we have is the Muslims for that. Out in the open. And then he's talking about, this is a pretty blazing play even for you, okay? Attempting a hostile takeover of an entire country, bonk, and he hits him in the head, knocks him out with American red, white, and blue. Stop him, you fools, people in danger of hellfire, okay? And then they say, he's just one man, right? Right. Sometimes, Trooper, a lone man is all it takes, provided he's the right one. I'd have thought even the hordes of Hydra would have learned that lesson. Notice when they darken and italicize stuff, okay? Now, this isn't even Captain America. This is Wolverine in a situation where he's tricking Hydra into believing that Captain America's there, the Avengers are there, he's lying in the shadows, and he is fooling everybody into believing all this is happening. It's just one guy pulling all this off. Okay, it's just really strange. Okay, when you start to think about it, add it all up. 9/11, emergency, pulse, emergency room. Okay, they're doing more and more brazen. They love to be brazen. Okay, so anyway, I thought that was interesting. You know, look right directly next to it. It's only as good as the person using it. credit, debt, money, power, tower, greed, like I said. Then you got prisoners of war, because he's marking where it separates. The last one is where he's going to say, this is the end of this sentence, here's the beginning of the next one. So, POW, prisoner of war, and POW, okay? And then ER, like I said, emergency room, 911. Flip that around, you got a 911, okay? Whatever. There's all kind of ways to look at this. But G7WC, is that the World Trade Center? Something like that. Mention priority code, G7WC, when you call. Okay. When I first started out looking at this, like I said, I found a 6, and then a 6 down here, and I thought, yeah, well, that's not enough, right? And I saw the 6, or the 3, 6, and then, like I said, there it was, deliberately. Where is it? I'll show it again and again. I don't care. There we go. 1-800-523-7666. Okay. Also, DC Comics, their office was, for a long time, 666 Fifth Avenue, New York. Or Manhattan, whatever, right? So, the point was, if I would have seen a 6, 6, and the 6 down here, plus the 3, 6, then that would have been, oh well, coincidence. But when I look down at the finer print and I see it in the numbers, that is what gets me. That's what gets me.